Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. The beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
Meanwhile, for the Browns. Here. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Here we go, 47. Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Julian Edelman, his numbers from a week ago. 6 catches, 65 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit. And this is a guy that defenses had better focus on. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go, wide eight.
Prescott on first down. Slant route caught by Edelman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, I mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
They play faked earlier. Now Prescott. Over the middle, Julian Edelman. It's complete. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Here we go. Wide eight. Here we go. 46. 26.
On first and 10, Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Once once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And a short gain here down to the 22. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
It's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL, but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? #1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. #2 goal is win your division. #3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now, fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. 3:19.
So one for the first time with Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Out of his end zone, Mayfield. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they work this out past the 25. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 21 carries, 75 yards.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go. Blue Niners. Blue Niners.
2nd down, Mayfield. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
Well, warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield, you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? A first down carry by Elliott. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run it with Elliott. And an Elliott run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
He's to the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. That's good for 22 and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
It's a keeper with Prescott. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
They come out here in the eye. On the sneak. It's Prescott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Dak Prescott scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Second down throw for Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So we're through a quarter here on Thanksgiving Day. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Mayfield now from the 50. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Here we go, 47. Done.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And 13 yards that time and a 1st.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Swing to the field, right. To the right. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And this will be incomplete. He was looking for Edelman there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Prescott off play action. He'll buy some time right. Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Edelman, the intended receiver that time.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Set. 3-19.
They go play action. Mayfield. Steps away to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
From the gun, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure, and the pressure gets to him again. Sean Lee able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Browns on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now let's go. 3-19.
A second down throw for Mayfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, and just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
The Browns on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
46, 46. 26.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Being chased out left. And he lets go a laser pulled in by Edelman. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Here we go. 1-8. Hey, swing. Here we go. 46. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go. 46, 46. 26.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
You got 4. Here we go. Wide eight.
From the red zone now, Prescott. They'll roll him out right. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here we go. Wide eight.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Here we go. 46. Gun. 46.
Second down, Prescott. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when and told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Here we go.
Now Elliott. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here we go. 46. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing, Mayfield. Screenplay, Johnson. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. It worked very well there for a first down.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there at 22. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield with it once more. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Taco Charlton. He's the one to get it, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Mayfield down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. David Irving in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Mayfield to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And his kick is indeed good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 72 yards. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving once again from our gang here in Orlando to yours. We'll get back to AT&T Stadium in a minute, but first, let's take a look at what's coming up later this holiday weekend. Some good games to look forward to in the early window, especially the one in Baltimore. A big one coming up for the Ravens as they'll host the Washington Redskins. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the New York Giants. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, they've got a good one lined up between the Houston Texans and the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
the ground. This is Johnson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and
Let's
10.
go. Blue line it. Blue line.
To throw, Mayfield. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go, go to 54, go to 54, line. Here we go.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Devon's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Here we go, going to 54, line. Switch and 8.
Prescott on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
4 down. Let's go.
The give is to Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now it's his carry for Johnson, and he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now Mayfield. To the right side and complete to Njoku. A gain of 6 there on first.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
All right, here we go.
Johnson on the counter. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Sean Lee in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage and big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Wide in. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 46.
A second down throw for Prescott. Ebron caught left side. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
They'll run with Elliott. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
We got 4. Here we go. Wide in. 26.
On second down, Elliott. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, 47. Hey, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Dante Fowler in on the stop. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Hey, we got 3. We got 3. 3 down.
26.
On third down, it's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And their lead will swell up to 28. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game and you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
I think the best offenses love to give the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a fifth, barring a conversion here on third down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On second down, Mayfield again, and that is incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side, able to get a hand in.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On third down, Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 30-yard play on third. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made it.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Again, it's Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Well, you were just alluding to it. They had the lead. Don't try anything silly. Run the ball, but they opted to throw it incomplete.
And now the punt, as a result, is really compressed, isn't it? So the mechanics have to be perfect. Snap, and he's got to get rid of it fast.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they... had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to... anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Green 39! Green 39!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Mayfield looks to throw. Going deep here for Landry. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's Austin. Look at the spin.
Balance.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go. Wide 8. Here we go, 47.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And a nice spin into some open field. 31 yards there and a 1st down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the red zone now, Prescott. Flush to his right. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Gun.
Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And that'll bring up second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Second down, Prescott. And this is incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Prescott down. And that will be incomplete as well.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. They'll throw again. Prescott. The quick slant caught. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Browns are able to come up with a goal line stand. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know
fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Swing to the field, right. To the right. 26.
Throwing, Prescott, and he connects with Ebron. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Hey, pull down. Here we go. Sliding. Here we go. Get out. Here we go. 46. 46.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Finding some room at midfield. Slant route caught by Elder. And finally brought down at the 38. That one goes for 24 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
A give to Elliott. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, here we go. One.
They go to Elliott again. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Here we go. Wide eight. Play six.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Prater for the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
First down, Mayfield. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Sean Lee in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 17.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now Austin. Fights loose. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Julian Edelman gets ready to take the field again here on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charlie, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now running right through it. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 61 yards. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
No, she's singing. She's
on like the fifth tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Extra point good by Prater, and that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
That is right. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Mayfield on first down. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A second down throw for Mayfield. His throw incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted. intercepted a third time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Here's Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. It's a keeper with Prescott, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, whatever other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Prater for the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And
because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Dancing to his left. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Julian Edelman and the rest of the offense back onto the field now. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
Well, look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right. He's agreed. This has 7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Get out. Good.
Prescott on first down. Ebron's got it. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and it's third down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. And again, it's Prescott. Trying for Edelman again. This time he's got it. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Really?
So they're challenging the spot. If you're a coach, you hesitate to throw the flag anytime it's a spot discernment.
You certainly do, because you feel like that's not one you're likely to win, and you may need that challenge flag for later in the game.
After review of the play, the working on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So the Cowboys to the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, here we go. Warning! It's coming now.
On 1st and 10, Prescott to the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And he gets it down to the 32.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. Spinning away, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point good by Prater, and that will extend this big lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Mayfield down. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Second down, Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing here, Prescott. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Dallas, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaunt.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 7/19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gauton. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Crash down, crash.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll run it here. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Set, 319. 319.
From the gun, Jackson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach is going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Third down, Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And out across midfield down to the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver.
All right, here we go.
Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Able to get away. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Second down, Jackson over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about it. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now let's go.
Now Jackson on second down. Incomplete. That his first incompletion after a 4 for 4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
13th play now on the opening drive. Will this be the lucky one? It's 3rd and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is When they know that the defense can take the ball away as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And right away, he lost the football. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Prescott now. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Third and long for Prescott. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
The numbers for Zeke from last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. Now Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Here's Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? This is Elliott. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Prescott from the gun. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 23-yard run. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt, you need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense and Hayden Hurst. And as we look at his highlights, you know, sometimes I've asked you schematically, how do you stop one player? Well, how do you stop a tight end like this without opening up other holes, partner?
You show your basic defenses, whether you're playing the 3-deep zone, the 2-deep zone, but you have your variations underneath it. So sometimes instead of the safety staying deep, the safety will drop down. A sky coverage, they call that. Sometimes the corner's responsible. You get a little, what they call a cloud, someone coming underneath. Sometimes the linebacker shows the ability to rush the passer and instead drops down and tries to get underneath the tight end as he tries to run routes. So many different things you can do from basic sets.
Trying to prevent those highlights we saw. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
Play action. Now Jackson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Now let's go.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
Yeah,
they?
when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this
All right,
guy's
here we
running
go.
every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Slant route caught by Edelman. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Avoids him at the 40. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's...
Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Ravens have got it.
One party they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
We got three, fellas. We got
And they'll try the run game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Cowboys have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Over the middle, Julian Edelman, it's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Down the ground they go with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Boom!
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8.
3 down, 3 down. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. David Irving in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 17.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
From the gun, Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. David Irving in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. Oh, now he bowls him over. A very good return that time. 18 yards. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They start on the ground with Elliott. He can't get him down. Room to run inside the 40. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, line it.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Set. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on 3rd down, Jackson. And an alley to run. And now running right through it. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And coming off a 1-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point good by Prater. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, It's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Jalen Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
319.
To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Going up top. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
There we go. Kill.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Right back to him on 1st down. And a short gain here down to the 22. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Tackle made by Tyus Bowser.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he lets go a laser pulled in by Edelman. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch.
1st down, Prescott. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. Shreds the tackle. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys add on.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Prater on to add the extra point. Prater for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
3 down. Now let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
All day. Whoa. Let's get it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, and it's the Bengals who are out in front. A touchdown run for Giovanni Bernard. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Russell Wilson leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys are on the road to blow out City. They lead it big as we send you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
4 down.
And they'll run it here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Fighting through, and he's got space. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 66 yards. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Extra point good by Prater, and the lead will swell by one more. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Green, 39.
They go play action here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And Jackson throwing once more. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw again is Jackson. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Now, that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your play list.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there. Either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage.
Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. And they'll go on the ground. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Hey, we got 3. We got 3.
Throwing is Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. Only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Oh, yeah!
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That good for 22 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Hey, here we go. Wide 8.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Tight, guys, double tight. Alert, alert!
Here we go.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that one will be accepted. The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Ebron caught left side. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On the sneak, it's Prescott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Cowboys add on. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front, have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind them.
Prater for the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
We got 3. Now let's go. Blue, line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and forever.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Pulled in at the 24. A great return there of 22 yards. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They'll get a first down and more. And finally brought down at the 38. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Hey, guys. Hey, 47. Here we go. Wide out.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Kill. 3 down. Here we go. Wide out.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Ebron's got it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Rolling to his right. That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Extra point good by Prater, and the lead will swell by one more. 5 plays there on that drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Switch and 8. We go 46. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys add on. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy rooms.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Prater for the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Jackson from the shotgun. Buying time to his left. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On 2nd down, Jackson. He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Jackson on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Wagner. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. That'll bring up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Sam Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
3 down, 3 down. Hey,
And they'll go on the ground. And some room to run now. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 69 yards. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater, and the lead will swell by one more. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Let's go!
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side, able to get a hand in.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Here we go now! Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. And now here come the Cowboys. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 63 yards, and the Cowboys add on.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
Prater for the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson to the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the Cowboys as pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Jackson on 3rd and long. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And out now come the Cowboys. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And now running right through it. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be second and goal. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Throwing, Prescott. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. That's a tough one not to hang on to on third and goal, but good job defensively to get there and jar it loose.
Agreed. That was really, really nicely done because there's no pass interference on the play. Timing excellent to get in there and knock it away. A win for the defense, and it brings up fourth down.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on fourth and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they lose their 9th game on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis,